Well, I almost forgot to click go live. I was fixing to start talking. Actually, I did start talking just a little bit. And then I thought, oh, I forgot to hit go live. So, how is everybody doing? I was making a mistake, getting confused there because I was trying to log in on YouTube with Dash and Grandpa because I had Grandpa's random reviews logged in. But for some reason, I was bringing up Facebook and trying to log in. I'm like, where is the live stream? It's been a long day. I hope y'all are doing well out there. How you doing, Nikki? Mr. Gig Giggity, how are you? Hope everybody is doing well out there. Hope y'all are staying warm. It got, I wouldn't say hot today, but I have a long sleeve shirt on and I had to turn the air conditioner up. Put it on about 70 in the car. So, howdy, pork chop. How are you? Hope everybody is doing good out there. Doing good. That is good. I have just been working. I tell you what, I don't know how the Walmarts are set up where y'all are at. And had I thought about it, I would have took I don't know why I'm waving my phone. Had I thought about it, I would have took a picture to show y'all, but it's the most ridiculous thing. They was on one side of the building, okay. So they moved to the other side of the building, starting starting the second. That is today, isn't it? Yeah, that just started today. And they have a covered awning area. It's really nice looking, but there is 8 slots or 8 letters on the parking spots. Only 4 of them are open right now. Well, the other 4 may be open, but they don't have letters on them, so I don't know how you would sign in. And I pulled up to the regular, to the regular new parking spots, and they come out and told me that the drivers are supposed to go over under the awning. That's great. Problem is, there's only 8 spots. And now one of the loaders that he's been there a while, and I asked him, I said, how is this going to work at Christmas? Because last year and the year before, all the spots were full and people were lined up, Spark drivers were lined up to get in a parking spot to get signed in. And he said that we're going to overflow into the regular parking when those spots are full. And a girl was walking by that worked back there, and she goes, no, they're not going to do that. They're going to have to just wait in line. And there's a main it's not part of the parking lot. It's a main street. Granted, it's not a heavy traffic street, but it's got quite a bit of traffic on it. But nevertheless, it's a side street between 2 main streets. And I told him, I said, if they do that and make us wait in line, we're going to be blocking the roads. You won't be able to come in and out of Walmart. Not from that side of Walmart. So I don't know how it's going to work. One of my Walmarts did the same. It's harder to get in and out now. Yeah, I'm going to take a picture and I'll post it on my Facebook page. And I'm just curious as to how y'all's are set up. The other 2 Walmarts are not like this. Why does that always pop up? YouTube, save $24 on YouTube TV. Dismiss. Why do I want to pay for something I can get for free? Maybe it's ad free. That just hurts the content creators because they don't get ad revenue. Some of them don't need it though. Anyway, yeah, that is going to be a mess. And I was just kind of curious if y'all's Walmarts are set up like that. This just opened today. They've been working on it for the last, probably almost a year, 8 months to a year. I don't know. It's been a while, but it opened up today anyway. So how is the light? Last week somebody said I looked dark. I have a desk lamp that's, what do you call that, on a gooseneck where you can bend it and twist it and turn it, and kind of like flex pipe, if y'all know what flex pipe is. But I faced it to the wall so it would bounce off the wall onto me, so maybe I won't be so dark and I won't have to turn them lights on over there, because I like these lights shining back here. So, hope the light's okay. Hope the sound's okay. Apparently, nobody's complaining. So, of course, y'all don't complain too much. Y'all are good people. It looks okay when I'm looking at it on the monitor over here. So, anyway. It's weird when the lights back there are back over here. Yeah, that light and that one, when they change colors, it blurs more, and then it's not blurred. Purple background makes your eyes look blue. They are kind of a bluish green. Black Beauty Machine. Alrighty now. Looks good. Thank you, Nikki, for helping me. So, yeah, had some help doing that. But actually, it's blue, but I've got the one lights turned up. Had to redo across the ceiling because it was just too bright over there. But anyway, I don't know. It's different. I was so used to that brick background that I had with the LED lights on it. I really liked it, but this don't look too bad. Look at there. You can see I moved my lawn chair over there, or it's my fishing chair. Most people use it for a lawn chair, but it's a folding chair. Anyway, I had to move it over there because I got me a printer today, so I can actually print out my driving record, so I can take defensive driving. Fun. I love it. Cool. Anyway, what I was getting at is I want to get like one of them fake trees. I know Hobby Lobby and stuff carries them, but man, they're expensive when you buy them there. And about a few months ago, I had the opportunity to do a review on one, and I thought, I don't have anywhere for that, so I didn't do it. For an old geezer, you got style. Good, I like that. That works. That's what I was thinking about the other day. When I was like in my 20s, you never would have imagined somebody 40, 50, knocking at 60's door, and probably going to be on into the 60s, cranking up some good old rock and roll. You never saw that. You never heard that. And my generation is a new generation that I think is going to change the whole perspective on old people. Because I tell you what, when a good song comes on, AC/DC, Metallica, Ozzy, I'm got it cranked. And I'm not saying that I don't crank up some Walker Hayes, too. Isn't that his name? Yeah. I like Fancy. I love that song. That's got some good bass in it, too. So, the world above make the ex jealous. Now we just need some Asian ladies. Well, I've got them on WhatsApp. That's where I get a lot of my stuff. And a lot of people they say, oh, the Chinese crap. Go to Walmart. Look where almost every item is from. May have been assembled in the United States, but it was made in China, Vietnam, Taiwan, Korea. Most of the stuff that we have is made overseas. It's assembled here. All your computers. I have this is Asus. My TV's a Samsung. Let's see where all that stuff's made at. So, makes you feel alive. Boom, fill the room. I got my stereo. There's a kid across. I say a kid, a young man that lives across the hall. He is so quiet. If I turned my music up, they'd probably be knocking on his door, but it'd probably be coming from over here. And I've thought about turning it up. My problem is a lot of things that I do here at the house is, 10 at night to 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. And I don't know if everybody would appreciate the walls bouncing with the music, the beat of the music. I could even crank up some tone low too. I like that. R&B, and I'm very versatile on music. Customers will lie. There is no doubt about that. DoorDash gave me 2 contract violations now. I have one. I can't get rid of it because I can't get on DoorDash long enough or often enough to, what is it? It's a rolling, is it 50 or 100? I can't remember. I think it's 50. And it will roll off. But I can't ever get on there. But I tell you what, me and my mother was talking earlier, and I may have to. I think it was me and my mom. Anyway, I may have to start trying to get back into DoorDash more. And the more I'm on it, the higher my rating, my acceptance rating. I hate thinking about that, but the higher it'll go, which means that I might can dash more often. But with the pay that Spark is dishing out to us now, you have to really pick and choose. I was going to count them and I forgot to count them. The total number of orders, and then the number of orders that I took. I can tell you how many I took today. I think it was 4. Stupid incentives. I could care less about your incentives. If you get them, great. If you don't, they ain't worth chasing. Trips completed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 trips, and I guarantee you there was no less than 25 or 30 that came across my phone just while I was logged in. So you have to pick and choose. But if you get 5 or 6 trips a day that pay good, that's really good enough. Now we're taking extra photos too. Oh, really? I didn't know that. I haven't been on DoorDash in a while. Never taken a McDonald's order again. Here, I've heard a lot of people complain about McDonald's. Well, and it could have changed, but for the last 3 years, McDonald's is really the pay on those orders are mediocre to lower. But our McDonald's, all except for one is really so. The rest of them, 9 times out of 10, they got that order ready. So there is no waiting. Did you hear the DoorDash news saying something like if they want their food warm, they need to tip? DoorDash put that message out. Yeah, I think it was Nikki actually that sent me that. I guess it was on a news app or something. Anyway, whoever sent it, I think it was Nikki. But somebody sent it to me, and I read that. And I was also read one about Spark drivers complaining about customers thinking that we're supposed to bring their orders in the house. And if you are signed up for in-home and you live in an area that has an in-home delivery, yes. But most places don't have that, and I don't really look for that to go over too well. I think after they test this out and get enough lawsuits, they're going to find there's too much of a liability for even employees going into somebody's home. Because, where'd it go? Customers lie. RTR. I don't know how you got your name, and I don't really know what that stands for, but since I used to go camping a lot, and that maybe you're into camping, but in Arizona and they have the RTR, what is it, Rubber Tire Rendezvous out there in the desert. Anyway, yeah, but customers can you imagine going into somebody's house and them saying that you set something heavy down on a table and it broke the table? Or worse. Suppose it's somebody that's about 16 years old and they just want attention, and they say, the man that came in the house raped me. Your word against a customer's word. Who's going to win? Or their word against your word. I don't really want to see that happening, and I'm not going into somebody's house unless, I know we're not supposed to, but I will if they are an older person and they're not able to, get around too well. You gotta just use common sense. Yeah, now they are prepping Kamala for the presidency. I don't see that happening. That'll be a mess. It's already a mess enough. But we're not a political channel, because if we are, I would probably, I don't know. And the only thing I'm going to say on political is everybody that I read on Facebook groups, on the Reddits, the comments on the news apps, nobody likes Biden. But yet he's still in there, so somebody likes him. So apparently the people who like him are ashamed to say that they don't like him, or are ashamed to say that they do like him. I just don't get it. Now, I know I have a couple of relatives that were Biden. I think they backed Biden, but I don't know if they still do. But he is such a, I'm not saying he's not a smart man, but he's getting old, and he can't remember his head from his butt. So we don't need nobody in there like that. I feel sorry for the man. His time has come and gone. Just like mine will be when I get older. I'll live upstairs. How many more years am I going to be able to go up and down them stairs? So, customers don't like that email. Yeah. No tip, cold food. Exactly. I mean, let me read these comments. I turned the teen rides on Uber for that you turned them off? Yeah. I would, I know Steve over on Rideshare Rodeo, he's always kind of talked against that too. And at first I thought it wasn't too bad, but then you got a lot of liability there. All it takes is one smart aleck kid that's wanting attention to say something. Then you're going to be up a creek without a paddle, because ain't nobody going to believe you. Or you're going to have to really have proof. But if you're going to do it, make sure you have a dash cam. One I'm not talking about the front and the rear. I'm talking about the cabin too. 3-channel dash cam. Make sure you have one. If you don't, get you a GoPro or some kind of action camera that you can mount up there on your mirror and run that. Video everything. CYA. Why are people finding so many snakes in their toilets lately in Florida? Unless it's drying up down there and they're looking for the water. Payback time for Joe. Dog took a dump. Oh man, that would be terrible. Yeah, I know. I remember they were talking about we couldn't refuse somebody that had a service animal. I don't know. I never had that problem. And then, of course, now I'm deactivated from Uber, so it doesn't really matter. But I talked to a young boy the other day he was doing Spark. He does Lyft. I signed up for Lyft a couple of years ago, but never got on, and I didn't pursue it. But he said early in the mornings, Lyft is pretty good here. So I may check back into that. I don't know. As long as I can make it on doing what I'm doing, then I don't really see the point of adding more stress. Alligator ate a guy the other day, too. I bet that happens more often than we know. How you doing, Gigwise? Interesting. And what, the snake coming up the toilet? That would be a terrible situation. Of course, you probably, I don't know, unless you sit there and look down in the toilet while you're sitting on it. I don't think you'd know it until you stood up. And we only live once. You're absolutely 100% right. Live like there's not a tomorrow. What is that? Live like it's your last day and dance like nobody, dance in the rain like nobody's watching. Anyway, I don't know. It's a good saying. But yeah, lots of going on. So Brandon Rideshare Rodeo had the CFO of the delivered app on stream tonight. I told her they need to get. Oh, good. That would work for me. She probably said, Wichita, where? What? Wichita, Kansas? You know, when you say Wichita, everybody thinks Wichita, Kansas. But you have to add that falls on there, and then they're like, where's that? A lot of people just don't know where Wichita Falls is, and it's just a little speck on the map, kind of between Dallas and Oklahoma City. Funny how we die. We do all the stuff just to go. It's not. That's, you can talk about Kansas too, yeah. Most people do. I don't celebrate Halloween. Some people do, some people don't. You know, you can find evil in pretty much everything. You know, when I was in high school, all the old timers was trying to find all the evil and all that into the rock music, especially Led Zeppelin. They targeted them. You can find evil in everything. No matter where you go, there's always evil there. But you've got to find the positives in it and look for the best. So I don't know. Then the government tax you to that. Yeah. And then they give you, what is it, $67, something like that. And all these years that you're paying into Social Security, if you up and die and don't have a spouse or children that are young enough to collect your death benefits, then guess where all that money goes? You know, I would almost, if I had the opportunity and I was on my deathbed at the hospital or hospice or whatever, I would almost marry the single nurse. I don't even care what her name is, just so she can have the money, and I don't care who has it, as long as the government don't get it. That's my whole thing. They've screwed us over pretty much our entire lives. Why should they screw us over out of our last penny and get to keep it? But anyway, I said this wasn't political, so let me back up on that. 100% agree, Dash and Grandpa. There is no more pensions or 401k. Well, they're getting fewer and fewer because, I mean, they're still around. If you work for the state, county, city, somewhere like that, some of the factories are shutting down. I know up north, a lot of grocery store chains that supposedly was big. I never heard of them, but up north, I guess they were. They're shutting down. And I don't know how much of y'all keep up with overseas stuff, but talking about stuff shutting down, it is not just the United States. North Korea, if you read this, North Korea closed or shutting down all their embassies worldwide. And it's not because they're fixing to attack everybody. It's because the cost. They are cutting their budgets too. So it's not just the United States. It's the North Koreans, Russians, everybody. Everybody is in a financial bind. And that's what worries me right there. Because if y'all will study the history on wars, every time everybody gets in a really bad bind, look what happens. It's all about money. Money and power. Need to lose this belly fat. Now I'm officially divorced. I have, I've gained weight, and I put one of them belt things on today. I've got a hernia, and I should have took care of it back when I was working for the state. I put it off and didn't get it done, and but if I can get it tight enough, when I was younger, heavier people would put these belts on, like pretty much like this, wrench it up like the ladies wore back, those corsets they wore back in the cowboy days, you know, and that don't give you much room for your stomach, so it makes you eat less. I'm not sure that's a healthy way to do it, but hey, if it works. But I'm doing it for the hernia, and maybe I can keep everything shrinking. War profits, it definitely does. And that's what I worry about. They already sending it, having the Navy on standby to go to Taiwan. Not going to be a good deal for you. Go to bump chest for China. Russia ain't too worried about. Or you're not supposed to go to sleep right after you eat. You're not. It's really hard not to, though, especially the older you get, you know. I can eat a hot dog, and I can sit, and I have done it. I don't know if y'all noticed, I got me a chair over there, back there finally, and I'm sitting there trying to edit videos, the reviews, and I'm sitting there, close my eyes, listening to where I need to hit the stop button to cut that segment out, and it all, I kind of doze off sitting there, so then I get up and go sit in the chair, and I can eat a bowl of popcorn, and it doesn't. But no, you're not supposed to go to sleep after you eat because you're supposed to burn those calories off. I guess if you ate a grapefruit, because grapefruit will burn calories regardless. So maybe if you ate a grapefruit, you'd be all right, but I ain't that healthy. Or I'm not that healthy of an eater. Look into yoga. Yoga, it may help with belly, I'm thinking. Yeah. The video of the worm and the pork chops. I'm officially done with pork. I'd love to visit Japan, but I'd like to learn their language a bit first. I do know in China, they, because the girls that I work with, they told me that they teach English in China high school. So I guess it's kind of like, I don't know how it is up maybe in bigger cities in their schools, but like in Wichita Falls, Texas, and all down here, Spanish is your language. That is Spanish, and some people take French, but you don't take Russian or Chinese or whatever. But I guess China offers that course because most of them can speak English, not very good. They still, you can tell, their wording is off a little bit. But I just thought it was interesting that even over there they teach English because I guess English is kind of primary language worldwide. I don't know. I don't really know, but I do know that those girls told me that they teach teach English in their Chinese high school. I don't guess I saw a video with the worm and the pork, but you can get worms in beef, chicken, anything, if it's not processed right, handled right. I do know with pork, you do have to cook it good because if it's raw, it can make you sick. That's probably, I don't know, it may be one of the most dangerous meats as far as like the chance of getting a bacterial infection from the food, something like that. But as long as you cook it right and handle it right, but who knows how it's handled before you buy it. I know back when I worked in the grocery store, we would only have X amount of time to get the pallet off the truck and into the cooler, especially on your frozen food. I have seen them stocking at Walmart frozen food that is not frozen. So it was froze, then it thawed, then it's being put back in the freezer. They just don't handle things the way they used to. And I also have noticed something else at Walmart. And even like, when did I work there? I guess it's been 10 or 11 years ago I worked there part time. And I worked in the deli, but we would go face, what they call it, blocking. I think is what they call it at Walmart. Back when I grew up working in a grocery store, it was facing it. You bring the items up front. But you couldn't put items that was, behind the tag, you couldn't move stuff over to fill in the empty holes. I have noticed in the last 6 months that Walmart stockers are putting items that don't even go in that spot. And you have to start moving stuff, and maybe you can find what you're looking for. It's a pain. I don't know. I don't know if it has to do with management or if they don't enforce that anymore or just the stockers don't care anymore. Kind of thinking probably don't care anymore, but nevertheless. Biden let 221 a lot fly into the U.S. this past year. I do know that they're supposed to be working on, the New Mexico and the New Mexico border, because apparently undesirables are coming up through Mexico and to New Mexico and then coming across and back down. I don't know. Chapter 7. Chapter 7, that was the best thing I did this year. I owe nobody nothing now. I did that, about 30 years ago. 25 to 30 years ago, I had to do that. Upside down on everything. And and back then, I don't know how it is now, but back then you could either just wipe it out or you could make payments on it. And I thought it was silly to make payments on it. If you couldn't make the payments before, how are you going to make them after that? But nevertheless, I know some people did it that way. They thought it would help their credit, but I don't think it does, but whatever. But, you got to do what you got to do. Like somebody said, life is short, so don't put yourself in a bind where you're just sinking. Just wipe it out. Yep. Your credit's gonna be shot either way, so you might as well relieve that stress and just start over. I always said if I ever won the lotto, I would want to start a deal as fresh start. And it would be for everybody, or not everybody, but people could send in and see if they met the criteria and just pay their bills off. Not necessarily give them a bunch of money, but pay their bills off where they can start all over. Because a lot of people, that's all they need. They've just fallen behind. And once you start falling behind, it's really hard. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's really hard to get back up, at least even. And a lot of people, all they need is just a little help. And I have heard that some of them people that got the stimulus checks more than what most of us got. I think there was more checks that went out. Apparently the IRS is wanting it repaid or something. That's jacked up. Anyway, At least gas went down a little. Yeah, it was 279. I think it was 279 earlier at one of these stores I went by. It's like we were set up to fail since birth of upper society rules. Yeah, I can't say yay or nay on that one. It's really hard to make it now. But if you just keep trudging along and don't, and it's kind of like these apps. A lot of people that were making good money 3 years ago on the apps are just barely making it now because of their market. Now, like GigWise and Pedro and all them, they live in a good market area, but some folks don't. They did, but it's gone way downhill, and it comes a time when you just got to throw in the towel and say it ain't. It's what was, and it ain't no more, and go back to making money other ways. If it's a regular W-2, whatever. Maybe if you want to continue to do that work, maybe you might consider moving. Of course, you don't want to pick up your whole family and move if you're in that situation, but it's the gig economy is not what it was, and I don't think it ever will be again. Just my opinion. I don't think it'll ever come back the way it was, unless something else happens. The one thing that, well, it's just like 419 here. Dang, for gas, whoa. The one thing that I do that, and a lot of people, and I'm not saying 100%, but if you look at the trend at the banks are already doing it, but if you look at the trend in the retail, and everything is going to automated and delivery and pickup, so I would not be surprised in say 10 to 15 years if the public did not have access to go into Walmart. The only thing that I would think might stop that is because of your impulse buys. Impulse buys that creates a lot of revenue, and that would be gone. Because if you order stuff on the app, then you're only ordering what you need. Of course, the economy may get to where that's the way everybody is. But it really wouldn't surprise me if it did go to that, because look at your theft. Somebody told me in California, unless it's like $500 an item, $500 value or more, they don't even stop you. You could go in there and get $300 or $400 worth of groceries or a big nice TV, just roll it out the door. I don't think I'd have guts enough to do that, and I don't think I would. I don't think I could live. My conscience would bother me. I almost made that boo-boo the other day. I was doing a shopping order and I got something, and when I get something, I always check that out first. And then I can put it in the bag and tie my receipt on the bag, just like if you was working there. You tape the receipt onto your item. Well, I just tied it into the bag. But it was underneath stuff, and I just started doing my thing and bagging stuff up. And I picked it up, and I was fixing, and whoa, that's mine. So I had to set it over to the side. And I would suggest, if you do get personal items, always do those first, because if you have a cart check and you got items that's not on that list, even though you say, oh, those was mine, and they legitimately may have been, but is those employees going to know that? Do they know you personally? Always do your stuff first. But I almost did that. But I thought I would feel so bad if I did that. And odds are, I don't remember what it was. Oh, it was batteries. I thought, if I was to do that, whatever I put the batteries in would probably somehow catch fire. Karma would get me, Karma has a way to come back and get people. That's a fact. Anyway, if you're doing Spark or any shopping order and shopping app or whatever, there's your little hint right there. Always do your personal items first if you've got personal items. Uber will send you dummy missions if you're not careful. Before, when I was still doing Uber, when I first started 3 years ago or whatever, 3.5 years ago, probably now, maybe it's been a while, but you would get those missions, and then for about the last 2 years, you never got nothing on Uber. Not me. Now I'm not saying everybody in my area, but because I do know, depending on who you are in different situations, you get things, incentives and stuff that some other people might not get. I'm not talking about Spark, but like with DoorDash or Uber and stuff like that, like the missions. Because I used to talk to a couple of people and I'd say, I don't have it. And we would look, and I didn't overlook it. It just wasn't on my phone, my app. So I don't know, but for me, they quit completely. That's why when I got deactivated, I hated to lose the Uber app, but I very seldom did it anyway, so it wasn't like no big deal. But the main reason why I quit doing it so much is they kept sending base orders, whether it was food or rideshare or whatever. It would be going out to the base, and unless you have a base pass, you ain't getting on the base. Anyway, DoorDash doesn't check for vehicle registration like Uber and Lyft. I don't know why. Uber and Lyft should be, if you're doing Lyft, you're doing rideshare, but you would think that they would check your insurance and registration and everything because you've got people in your car. Think you make it in Los Angeles. Montana, but watch for the bears. I must have missed something. Didn't know you're not with Uber. Yeah, I got deactivated. At first, they said that I had some kind of criminal history or something in Arizona. And I've flown over Arizona, going to Las Vegas once. And then I was in Arizona when I was about 10, 11 years old with my dad in a cattle truck. Never been to Arizona. Got that cleared up, but something is on my record from a former employee, and I've got put on some kind of registry. I have no idea what it was. I've got a buddy that works out there, and he's kind of worked his way up. He's supposed to have checked on that and see if he could find out anything, but I kind of have a feeling it was my old nurse manager, which is the supervisor, because she doesn't like me very well, and there's a lot of reasons. I didn't ever date her, but I did date her sister. Actually, I married her sister. Very short, brief marriage when I was young. Nevertheless, I think something may have got put on my record inadvertently somehow, or a patient could have just said my name, and my name got thrown in the shuffle. So I don't know. I don't really care. I just hate not. It's like kind of like having a Corvette that'll run 180 miles an hour. You're not going to drive 180 miles an hour normally, but it's nice to know you can if you want to or you need to. And it's kind of like having those apps. I'm not necessarily was going to use Uber, but it was kind of nice to know it was there if I needed it. But like I said, no big deal. Gig economic is based on mafia-style tactics for drivers. Was the pretty sister or the average one? Was she the pretty sister? Well, Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, I suppose. We were all young, and now that was a long, long, long time ago. Anyway, I don't even know what. Oh, it's almost 10. And like I had named this one, just hanging out and chilling. Because I really had nothing to talk about. I was just kind of. The only thing I had even thought about is how this new Walmart, and had I been planning ahead, I would have took a picture and I could have shared the picture, and it may be the way some of y'all's Walmarts are set up. I don't know. Ours was just down the side of the building and out in the parking lot. And now it's on the other side of Walmart under an awning, which that will be nice when it's raining and stuff, but it's not going to help the loaders because the loaders still have to come out of the side of the building and go all the way over to where we're at, which, you know, those loaders are the ones having to be out in that weather a lot more than us drivers because technically, they keep sending out emails, stay in your car, let the loaders take care of it. But if you let the loaders take care of it, you're going to have a 12 pack of Coke sitting on top of a dozen eggs. So I don't suggest that, but whatever. So I have read on Reddit that some drivers got fussed at and was told to get back in their car. And according to Spark, you're supposed to stay in your car, so you can't argue it. Looks like a party in there. I could get me a disco ball and a strobe light and get some tunes going and get some copyright popping up. No, I don't know. I like the lights. I think they're cool. If Are you a gun owner? Yes, I am. 100%. Not saying everybody should be, because there are some people that should not. And I don't know. I'm not going to get into the political part of it, but my biggest issue with people, you can't be 25, say 20 to 30, 40 years old, whatever, and never been around guns, and then go buy a gun. And just, you have no concept of what that gun is capable of. My first lesson was, I was probably 5, and I got me the Daisy BB gun. And I walked out of my grandparents' house out on the front porch, and there was a power line running out to the main road, and I shot a bird. Didn't kill it. One of those little sparrows. And it fell down on the ground, and, I shot it through the beak. And from that point on, I knew once you pull the trigger, you can't pull it back. You don't know where that bullet's going. And, I mean, hopefully you know where that bullet's going. But what I'm saying is, people that have never been around guns don't comprehend what that is capable of doing to people that's not even what they're capable of doing that's not the target. So I think guns are great, but you have to respect them. And guns actually don't do anything wrong. It's the people holding the guns. But I do understand why some people don't like guns. I get it. Mm-hmm. But nevertheless, hey, Dash and Wobble, how are you? Driver still getting robbed. Yeah. I thought about one time, and I don't even know if I should say this. Nobody probably should do it anyway. But when I was younger, I grew up out in a little town outside Wichita, Lakeside City. The guy that ran that store and old westerns and stuff like that. You had them behind the bar. It was a mounted shotgun under the counter. But I thought, you could mount a shotgun between the seat and the console, and if somebody threatened to kill you or was fixing to kill you, which has happened, you could just pull the string and eliminate the problem. You'd have one heck of a mess, but, you know, I don't know. People are getting robbed and shot, and the world is people have they've lost their minds and respect. People don't have much respect anymore. And without respect and some values, you're heading down a bad road, and the trouble is you're going to run over people on your way. Use a little common sense in everything and be respectful. And always smile. I was talking to somebody. Oh, it was my granddaughter. Oh, Lord. We went to eat at a China buffet. It's called, I think, Grand Buffet is what it's called. Nastiest food I've ever ate. It used to be decent. I'm not into Chinese food or Asian food, whatever. But used to, I could find, like the shrimp and catfish, or not catfish, but the fried fish. It was okay. It was horrible now. But anyway, what I was getting at is my granddaughter, my second to youngest, I think, she was given this mean mugging. And I told her, I said, just smile. I said, when you're walking through the store or walking through the halls at school or whatever, just smile. Because if you smile at somebody, a lot of times, not every time, but a lot of times, that kind of puts a little smile on them or makes them kind of perk up a little bit. Like, hey, not everybody's jerks. So, smiles can be contagious, and so can kindness. And you should practice both of them a lot, especially nowadays. We need it now more than ever. They say shrimp is the roach of the sea. Might be, but I like shrimp. Ladies are always frowning at me. I'm not even ugly. Just smile. My dad used to say, what was it? Something about you just smile, and because then they don't know what you're thinking. Which they couldn't if they're thinking something bad. But it doesn't hurt. I'm not talking about like freak somebody out kind of smile. I'm just talking about just a genuine smile and just keep it going. Nod your head. Back in the day, they tipped their hat. Nobody really does that anymore. But just smile. And if they smile back, great. You just maybe made their day a little bit better, and maybe they'll make somebody else's day better, and it'll just go out. Everybody will keep smiling. A tad worn out as still getting over another 19-hour shift. And a few days ago, had about 3-hour break and then went back for another 8 hours. You trying to keep up with Bud Soda, ain't you? I'll tell you what, of course y'all do it, you and your wife do it together, so that's good. I don't know if you always do it together, but if you do that, that's good. It gives you some time together, and you're making memories, even doing orders, you're talking about things. It's all good. Just, you're old enough, you got to enjoy life. It ain't all about work. We got to pay our bills, that's a fact. But if you're making enough to pay your bills, take a little time for yourself. And find you a hobby, or if you don't, if, I know I like to go fishing. I like camping. Haven't got to do either one of them much in a while. A little fishing here and there, but not a dedicated fishing trip. Well, a couple. But nevertheless, pay your bills and don't just spend all your time making money because it ain't going to do you no good when you're gone. So enjoy life. Brenda, did you see the pics of my new van on the Facebook? No, I didn't. I haven't even been on Facebook, to be honest with you. The about the most I've been on Facebook in the last week or so is putting stuff on the market, Facebook Marketplace, and our local trading post. I have a washroom that's supposed to have a washer and dryer in that little utility cabinet, closet, whatever you want to call it. Put a washer on one side, a full size washer on one side, and dryer on the other. If I had a washer and dryer, I couldn't put it in there. I've got so much crap in there, and about a third of it is stuff from product reviews, from doing reviews. And I've given stuff away. I've sold a couple of things. I've got so much to. I need to lighten my load, as my mother says. I remember you saying you got a new ride, but yeah, I remember you saying that, but I hadn't looked. 2013 bright red cargo van. My viewers named it Clifford. The big red van, LOL. No rust. That's good. Oh, Cliffy. Takes green game over. Anyhow, folks, I got up early this morning, and getting up early is overrated. I've been trying to get up earlier, but I don't always. But I've been trying to get up earlier, and this morning I got up real early, after going to bed real late, and it's taking its effect. I did get a new printer. I got it hooked up because I needed to print out a driving history thing to do for, what do you call it? Not driver's ed, but where I can keep my ticket off my record. Nevertheless, I had to have a printer for that, which I could have went to the library or UPS or whatever, had it printed, but I also had to do a review on a printer table, which I could have put other stuff, but I needed a printer, and I didn't spend a lot of money on it, and I'm not going to be spending a whole lot. How you doing, Miss Ellen? Getting here just in time to say goodnight. Nice show. See you next time. Early morning or the best. Get it over with. Yeah. I don't know. Everybody, well, not everybody, but a few people that I talk to that does Spark in the mornings say that they usually do okay. But every time I have gotten out early, like 7 to 8 o'clock in the morning, I never do any good. I'll pick up 2 or 3 orders, but usually it's about from 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon on. But now that I'm kind of getting things sorted out, I can probably start at least rolling over and turning the app on and seeing what's going on. Because I'm close enough to Walmart now, I'm actually getting orders from here. So that's a nice change. You don't have to be in the parking lot anymore. So, and you have jury duty. Oh boy. Oh, you're all right. You're all right, Ellen. Probably had things to do, and I've just been rambling. We've just been hanging out and talking a little bit about nothing and a lot about something. And I'm not real sure which is which. Have to be up way too early this Sunday for the food delivery challenge. Oh yeah. You said I saw that you had to cancel that because of the weather. I'm going to need a pot of coffee. Yeah, I used to drink Dr. Peppers to get me going, but I don't know. I caught the COVID, and when I caught COVID, it kind of changed up my taste. Dr. Pepper is just Dr. Pepper's Cokes. None of it tastes good. Dr. Pepper tastes horrible. And the only thing that still tastes good is sweet tea, and that's pretty much all I drink now. Time changes this week. Oh, it does. I mentioned that to my mom the other night, and I figured she would say something, but now thinking about it, I don't think she ever replied because I said, I think it's sometime this month. So it's this weekend. Okay. Cool. The phones and everything probably change themselves. I've got a clock over here I'll have to physically change. And the car, I think I have to change. I don't know. I don't know if I have to change. I'm assuming I have to change it. Cutting soda is a good thing. I do love it. So, yeah. But I drink a lot of sweet tea. So I cut the carbonation, but not the sugar really. Because there's probably as much sugar and sweet tea as there is in Cokes and stuff. How you doing, Roger, Lisa? Boy, you and Ellen y'all must have been out hustling and making some money. Y'all made it in time to turn out the lights. Lisa finally joins the party. Yeah. I can't say an hour and 5 minutes late because I was a little late myself, but not an hour late. I think I missed your notification. I don't know how it goes out. And actually, I didn't even plan it because I wasn't sure if I was going to do the live because my grandson had a football game and I wasn't real sure what time it was. And my son-in-law had surgery on his hand today. So I wasn't sure how everything was going to pan out. And then I found out the football game was going to be earlier. But then I found out that his grades wasn't good enough. The coach wouldn't let him play. And I don't know. I don't know how many of y'all are into sport, school sports, stuff like that, but it kind of, I get a coach, even when I was younger, but they made us run laps if our grades wasn't good. But they don't let them play. Now, I get it to try to entice them or give them motivation to bring the grades up. I get that point. But it's a fine line there because if you've got a kid that loves sports and they're having trouble in class because they're 14 years old, 15 years old, whatever. So there's a lot of other things that are starting to get on their minds besides class and grades. But nevertheless, what I'm getting at is if you keep them from doing something that they really enjoy, how long is it going to take for them to say, screw it? I'm not going to get to play anyway, so I might as well just go smoke that cigarette, go smoke that joint, drink that beer. How long is it going to be before that happens? Because about that age, you're going to start. Of course, kids nowadays may start a lot younger than that. I don't know. But nevertheless, I think these teachers and coaches need to really look at that. And I don't know how long that's been going on like that, but it's a fine line. And I don't think they're considering the what might happen. You take something away from somebody that they really enjoy because they're not doing this good enough, and how long is it going to be before they heck with it? I do what I want. My oldest son played sports in school. Yeah. Rolling up now. And it's starting to get more people in here. I'm getting tired, y'all. Oh, I don't know, I'm feeling stuffed up. Learning how to trade stocks. I did read that somebody, and if you're into crypto and all that, somebody got arrested. I guess there was a big crypto person that maybe made up some cryptocurrencies, got arrested and going to the prison for fraud. Imagine that. Tomorrow is National Jaeger Day here in Missouri. I will probably be out for a couple of Jaegers tomorrow night. Well, you enjoy, but mostly be careful. You don't want them. When you got that band, you could put, you know what? You could put an air mattress in the back of that, and a little 5-gallon bucket with a toilet seat on it. Maybe a little Mr. Buddy heater. You'd be ready for some major camping there. That would be the one advantage of having a band. The band life. Anyway, you could do some stealth camping in the Walmart parking lots. Anyhow, I'm out of here, folks. Hope y'all have a wonderful rest of your week, and thanks for coming by. And one more thing. I did notice, and it's up to you if you want to go check it out. The Grandpa's Random Reviews. There's 195 subscribers now. So I think I was going to try to start doing it anyway, but I'm definitely going to do a giveaway at once I hit 200. I don't know if it's going to be 202, 203, 201, whatever. Once I hit 200, I'm going to do another giveaway. That is for sure. I was going to try to start doing it anyway, but I hadn't really planned anything. But I am going to do a giveaway. I don't know exactly what it'll be. I got so much crap. You need a snoring pillow. Anybody need a snoring pillow? That thing is $569 on Amazon. That's insane. Anyway, I'll be giving something away when I hit that 200 mark. And I'm not trying to entice y'all into going over to Grandpa's Random Reviews. But if you want to, you can go over there. Check it out. You might find there's stuff on there for gig workers. Battery jumper things that you jump start your cars with. And, I do know one thing I could give away. It might cost too much to ship, though. It's not that it's heavy, but it's kind of big. Jumper cables, because winter's coming on. But anyway, tire inflators. I've got stuff on there that gig workers can use. Actually, there's a playlist, I think, with that in there. Anyway, if y'all want to get over there and check it out, do so. And if you want to subscribe, you can. If you don't want to, that's fine too. Just maybe you'll find something on there that you like or hadn't thought about, like a spy camera that's in a clock. I never knew they put stuff like that in there. I don't know. James Bond type stuff. An ink pen. I got an ink pen that's got a camera in it. Anyway, I'm out of here, folks. I'm starting to ramble. See, I told you I'm tired. I'll start laughing here in a little bit like I'm drunk. I'm going to bed before that point. Anyway, appreciate y'all coming by, and battery jumper things, yeah. I used my tire inflator earlier because the discount tire was too backed up. But cold weather makes your tires deflate, and mine was deflated. So anyway, I'm out here, folks. Y'all have a great night, and I will see y'all next time. Y'all keep smiling, dashing, dancing, prancing, doing whatever it is you want to do. Just keep smiling at people and be nice. But get out there and do something to enjoy life, because you're going to grow old, and it's going to be gone before you know it. And I'm out. Y'all have a good one. Bye.